Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. I'm going to be doing two videos today, head shave and a face shave, because I can now, rather than merging them into one, because I know a lot of you guys out there, and gals, prefer the face shaves over the head shave, so you can pick and choose what you want now. I'm going to be using the same products pretty much, other than a different base plate on the razor, and let's just get stuck in. Using a new soap today, Ariana and Evans St. Barts. I say it's a new soap, it's a new scent. The soap base in here is one of the best on the market at the moment from Ariana and Evans. It's made by Peter Charkalis, who owns the club, and he makes this base, and I believe he does this scent as well. Now it's supposed to mimic or smell very similar to or clone of Creed's Virgin Island Waters, I believe. Now I have smelled Creed's Virgin Island Waters and I do enjoy it. It's a very coconutty, limey scent, and it does smell very much like the tanning oils or the sort of ombre solaire that your mum used to wear about 30 years ago when she went on holiday to 5 and used to like burn herself to death. So that's what it smells like. Now the soap is quite dark. I've used this once off camera. I don't think I've done a video on it yet, but my memory's shit, so to be honest I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I have. I can smell it already. Now I get coconut, I get lime, and I get an almost chocolatey toffee sweetness to it. When I add water to this, however, it turns into a beautiful type cologne scent. It is not a gourmand type scent, even though it smells like it from the tub. And I'll explain a little bit more once I get to the splash. The razor for today is going to be the Carve Christopher Bradley razor. And as you can see, I've got the open comb plate on here. This one is the C plate. This is still the brass razor, and it does have the, I think it's the 3.5 inch Argyle handle in the brass. Now, as far as I'm aware, there is still only 4 of these in the world, and I am one of the very, very lucky owners. I think Brad Melling's got another, and I think Chris over at Carve still has one, and I don't know who has the 4th. But possibly the gentleman that makes the soaps for him over there, from, what's it called? Grandpa's, Uncle Grandpa's soap, I think it is. I've loaded into that the same Persona vintage blade that was given to me from Ian over at the Gentleman's Groom Room in Scotland. This will be its 3rd shave, I think. Yeah, 3rd shave. But I'm going to be doing a head shave and a face shave with it today and see how it lasts. I find these old super stainless blades tend to last quite a long time, whether it be Perma-Sharp or Gillette. Very sharp, very smooth, very comfortable. Now, I do have to be careful here, because right here is where I nicked myself the last time. So I'm going to basically try and miss this area, and then I'm just going to touch it up with a cartridge razor once the shave's done, I think. Other than that, I've got about 7 days growth, something like that. Let's get stuck in. Turn and shave, 26mm, game changer, boss knot, whatever you want to call it. It's a beautiful, beautiful knot. This one's actually a lot softer, I think, than what the original boss knot is. I don't know where Milton gets his knots from, but he definitely gets awesome knots. There's his coin on the bottom, and this one's very difficult to show on camera, but this is basically chameleon glitter that's in here, so it goes blue and purple and sort of aqua, all different colours. Now if I turn this light on here, I can generally give you a better idea of it. So hopefully you can see the sort of purple and the blue. It is absolutely stunning. Not something that comes across the camera very well. When it's sat on just on a table like that, you don't really notice it. It's more like one of those cars that drives past and changes colours. The light needs to reflect off it in different ways. The handle is beautiful. I love the style of it. It's very comfortable to hold, and it's quite modern and futuristic looking. Let's get it dipped in the water and straight into the soap. Now, Peter Charkalis is an absolutely top bloke, really nice guy. And I find with Peter, it doesn't matter really what time of day it is. If you send the guy a message, he seems to get back to you really quickly. And as far as I'm aware, he gets back to everyone. So, I suppose unless he doesn't like you, I suppose he won't get back to you. But that's understandable. I know recently he's had a bit of a, I wouldn't say a tiff, but a bit of some words has crossed paths with Australian Private Reserve. I don't know how that's going now, but Peter's just such a nice guy. He makes beautiful scents, makes lovely soaps, and he's so well connected in the fragrance world. I have just recently found out through watching Rudd shaves of a company called Alexandria Fragrances, which I'd never heard of, no idea who they were. So I thought I'd go and have a look, and it turns out, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure Peter Charkalis knows them quite well. I knows the guy that makes them quite well. and he's got some lovely scents on there. Now his splashes on there, I think most of them are eau de cologne, eau de parfum, sorry. So they're going to be quite high in essential oils, with strong scents, good longevity, and from what I've been hearing, pretty good silage as well. Now I was going to order some, but it is the wife's 40th birthday year, so I'm sticking to my guns, saving every penny I can so I can spoil her once again, even though she got spoiled on a holiday to Canada. There we go. But yeah, Alexandria fragrances, I will try them eventually. The one that sort of excites me a little bit, or quite a bit should I say, is Hawaiian Volcano, or Hawaii Volcano Intense, which is the stronger version of it. It sounds like it's a little bit more robust, a little bit smokier, and it actually mimics this sort of scent. Now I don't know whether Peter gets any help from any of these guys when it comes to actually doing his own scents. I believe this is Peter's own scent from scratch. I don't think he had help with this one. Where'd that hair go? I am sick of long hairs. I can't wait till the day that I can, well, if it ever happens, that we build our own house from scratch and I will have a shaving den, a dedicated shaving den, away from everything, all built into one. Right, I'm just going to spray this. This is very pasty. Make a big divot in the middle of the brush and just sprinkle water in there. The old Michael Friedberg technique. It works a treat. You don't lose any lather in the bowl, in the sink, and you just keep adding. The great thing with this soap is, as with most of the newer bases from, say, Barrister and Man, Noble Otter, Face Fat, Grooming Department, Tallow and Steel, all those guys, and others, they take a lot of water but still stay dense and creamy and glossy, and that's where pretty much all your slickness and your residual slickness come from. But you still want that density in the lather to give you some sort of protection, especially on a head shave. To be honest, I watched back my head shave where I cut myself, and I can't quite put my finger on what happened, because that lather was very slick. The only thing I could say is it was a little bit dry. The annoying part is, where I actually cut my head, there's only one hair there, one tiny hair that grows. So technically, I didn't even need to shave it. On that particular occasion, it decided to bite in and cause a little bit of bloodshed. So as you can see, the lather is building up nicely. Just sprinkle a little bit more water on there. And I think I'll pretty much be there. I don't really need much more moisture than what's in here now. I can see that that's starting to get nice and glossy, nice and creamy. And one thing that Ariana and Evans soaps definitely have is an abundance of slickness, which when I'm shaving my head is almost paramount. It's more important than any other factor to do with the soap. The slickness is what allows me to travel over my skin without hopefully slicing myself open. So that's the lather done. There's still plenty in the brush to finish off with my second pass. So I'm going to scratch the back of my neck there, I've got an itch. And then I'm just going to try and find this little bit here. Where is it? It's right there. So I want to try and avoid that part as best I can. So Christopher Bradley, open comb C-plate, 0.85 blade gap, but obviously with the open comb now makes it a little bit more efficient, a little bit more aggressive with this vintage Persona blade. It's not a Persona, is it? Hang on a minute. I keep saying Persona. I think it's a Permasharp. I'm sure it's a Permasharp. It is, it's a Permasharp. Apologies to Permasharp. I keep calling it a Persona. Now, open comb definitely makes this razor more aggressive, more efficient. Right, now I don't know what I'm really going to do here. I'm going to just go with the grain here. Down to about there, getting ready for the face shave, and then against the grain here. I'm just going to scoop all that off, just so it reminds me not to do it. And there we go, against the grain here. And against the grain here. And this is just basically through trial and error over the last few years, finding out what sort of works best for my shave. When I tend to go with the grain here behind the ear, for some reason I cut myself down the back and on this side. If I go against the grain, it's fine, generally. Now, I don't know why I'm going against the grain here. I'll go with the grain. Now, one thing I really enjoy about this open comb is that, unlike the solid bar, it collects the lather very well and it holds onto it. I do find the solid bar, and the first person that mentioned it was Christopher David Bailey, I am CDE. He was the one that first mentioned it, and I didn't really take much notice of it because I was so blown away by how smooth a shaver it was. But over time and over use, I have noticed that the razor itself does tend to collect the lather on the base plate and then just let it fall off. It doesn't really give it much of a chance to stay there. So on big massive strokes like that, the open comb holds it, the solid bar doesn't. And you'll see what I mean whenever we get to the face shave, or in the next video, which will be the face shave. Now this is quite a heavy razor, and from watching Kevy Shaves on YouTube this morning, he said that the stainless one was actually lighter, and I think I might like that, even if it's only a fraction lighter than this one, because one of my favourite razors, in fact two of my favourite razors that I've used, one I no longer own, was the RazorRock MJ90, which had an aluminium head and a titanium handle. Very, very light, but very nimble and very efficient for such a mild razor. God, the sink is absolutely chock-a-block full of hair. So if it's a little bit lighter, sorry, the other razor is the above the tie Calypso, which is what wounded me over here. Right, the sink is chock-a-block full of hair. Chockers. And sometimes I wonder if, oh God, that scent, I've just put some warm water into the sink and it really opens up the oils from the silk and it comes right out. It smells sensational. I should mention as well, the scent strength out of the tub on this one is a good 6 or 7. It's a good scent strength. It stays the same through the whole shave. Just performs really, really well. And as you see there, it's lovely slickness, and I know when I add a little bit of water, there's loads of slickness with this silk. Oh, that scent, that coconut and lime, and I'm not sure whether there's any freaking hairs in my mouth and everything there. Not sure whether there's any rum in this one, I can't remember. And if I'm honest, I don't generally check scent profiles in terms of what's actually in it. I try to give you what I smell, because I watch a lot of YouTubers now, and one of the ones I tend to watch quite a bit, and it's mainly because they're quick videos, is Rudd's over Rudd Shaves. Now, his descriptions of scents and stuff generally tend to revolve around what the scent notes are, whereas I prefer to smell something and then say this smells like this to me, it reminds me of this. Does it smell nice? It does smell nice, all that sort of stuff. I don't have a great nose, but it's getting better. I'm actually getting to the point now where I'm starting to notice what sort of aftershaves and things people wear, and I'm able to guess just based on the scents of them what they're actually wearing. Right, give me a second. Just going to just touch up this part where this is, hopefully without cutting myself. Just very, very lightly. But you know what, I might just finish off with this because it's just quicker. I am working today. I've picked up an overtime shift. This is the Coles 5-blade razor. It's an exceptional shaver for the price. Does a great job. It's nowhere near as smooth as a Gillette blade, but you can't buy 4 Gillette blades for $6, that's for sure. The blades are sharp, they're smooth. I have cut myself a few times with this one. Not say cut, but just like just a slight little nick, and it's mainly through, as always, user error, where I'm just not paying the complete attention that it deserves. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what razor you use, it can cut you. It doesn't matter how safe it is and how many bars they put on it to protect you. It's a razor sharp razor, so it can inflict damage. Very light touch. It's just another talking point today would be Manchester United. Now, we played Chelsea last night and into the morning as it is over here, but obviously in the UK it was in the afternoon. I think it was 5:30 kick-off in the afternoon in the UK. And look, it was very enjoyable to watch. It was like watching United from 15-20 years ago when Ronaldo and Rooney were there, and it was about getting the ball and really fast, pacey, counter-attacking football and good solid defence. But I'm not going to get carried away by it, because at the end of the day, it's one game, it's the first game of the season. Lampard's got a young side, as United have. I don't personally think the youngsters in the Chelsea side are as good as the youngsters in the Manchester United side. But at the end of the day, they're still youngsters. And yes, you can win the Premier League and the Champions League and everything with kids. It's been proven by United that it can be done. But I don't see this crop of youth and this crop of this squad that we've got at the moment actually doing that. I do, however, I'm more hopeful now of actually getting top 4. But having watched Liverpool and Man City, Liverpool on Friday, Man City on Saturday, they're going to be very, very hard to beat. Very, very good quality teams. They've got, well, Man City's got excellent strength and depth. I don't think Liverpool quite so much. I think with Liverpool losing Alisson in goals for a couple of months, and maybe a few other bits might go wrong if they get some injuries, they're going to struggle more than what Man City will. And I still, at this point, don't see Liverpool winning the league this season, but I still think it'll be Man City, Liverpool 1-2, and hopefully we can pick up 3rd or 4th. That's the hope. I don't think Chelsea are going to be really in the mix. Arsenal are a hit or a miss. They weren't too great against Newcastle, but they still got the win. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, I think. I'm really looking forward to this one. And I think with Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and Daniel James coming in, Daniel James played very well when he came on, and Maguire was an absolute rock in defence. I don't think he put a foot wrong the whole game. He played really, really well. Bissaka did well. I think the whole team just looks more youthful, more exuberant, more exciting, and they all played from start to finish with a real high intensity, which is nice to see. It's been a long time since I've seen United players chase down every ball, tackle, get stuck in, win the second, third and the fourth ball. It was really, really good to see. And Chelsea did have a young side out yesterday that had a lot of legs, and I think obviously a couple of things could have went their way with shots going in. They hit the post 3 times. They had a lot of good shots, so it wasn't all one way for Manchester United, but we won the game 4-0. It really flattered us, and I think I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season now. Hopefully, win, lose or draw, we can just play that type of football. At the end of the day, I've always said it, if we lose or we draw a game, but we play like that, I would be happy, rather than losing a game because they don't look interested or drawing a game because they ran out of steam at the end of the game. I think we're looking fitter, stronger, younger, quicker than probably 10, 15 years since we had Ronaldo and Rooney and Nani and all that. So, that being said, the head shave's done. Talking a lot of shit there. Ariana and Evans, St Barts. Based on Creed Virgin Island water. Beautiful, beautiful scent. Now, I'm not going to put the splash on just now. I'm going to do that once I've finished my face shave. But the splash, and I'll talk about it after the face shave, is absolutely superb. But the scent on this one, beautiful, performance top notch, and definitely it's just a lovely scent. I feel like that sort of fruity, tropical, coconutty type scent. It's absolutely wonderful. The brush today for the head shave, and it will be for the face shave, was my turn and shave. I'm just going to leave this lather in here, probably redo the soap again for the face shave, and I used the Carve Christopher Bradley razor with the C-Plate open comb and a vintage Perma Sharp blade, and finished off with the Coles 5-blade cartridge razor, which for my money is one of the best cartridges out there. It's definitely by no means a Gillette Skin Guard or a Gillette Fusion, but the blades are smooth, they're comfortable, they're sharp. You get pretty good length out of them in terms of longevity, but the worst thing about it is the rinse through. So you can see all those blades there, but from the back you can't get much water to those blades, so it's a bit of a nightmare to rinse. So I generally have to sort of soak this razor for a little bit after I'm finished, give it a real good flick out. And that's me done and dusted. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys in the face shave. Cheers.